All right. Young people are now overwhelmingly Republican. Out of Newsweek. This is astounding. This is making the rounds today on people that follow political polling news. Rich was talking about it too. Young Americans are supporting the Republican Party in greater numbers. A new poll is found highlighting a large divide among people under 30 years old. According to a new Yale Youth Poll, survey affiliated with the Yale Institution for Social and Political Studies, I would be suspicious, but anyways, the voters aged 18 to 21-year-old lean Republican by 11.7 points when asked who they would support in the 2026 congressional elections, while voters aged 22 to 29 favored Democrats by 6.4 points. So they're essentially 18 points off. And I'll note here that this isn't about Trump, this is about party, which actually I think is even more important because I think younger people would probably be more likely to say that they're a Trump voter, even though they have pressure to identify as independent or Democrat. But this is like, no, we're Republican. I think that's a big deal. Young people traditionally vote for Democrats in elections, but a conservative shift among Gen Z voters helped President Trump secure the keys to the White House in November 2024. I can't not hear that word and get upset about Allen. If this trend is sustained, partisan realignment could hamper the Democrats' chance of success in future elections and bolster the Republicans instead. Reshaping American politics. American politics has been reshaped so many times now. Hispanics overwhelmingly vote Trump, the 18 to 39-year-olds. Now they're being offset by the crazy boomers. And I don't mean all boomers are crazy. I'm just saying that there are crazy boomers. All the people like doing the hands-off rally and stuff like that. This is what it looks like over time. We've been tracking this. This isn't a new trend. I could have told Democrats years ago that this is where things were going. But look at this, 18 to 39-year-olds in Trump versus Clinton. She wound up in our polling getting like almost 49%. Trump only 28, 29%. So 20 points apart there. Pretty big spread. But then it narrowed for Biden. And again, all caveats about the 2020 election, obviously. Pretty sure that younger voters are probably more likely to, cheat on those mail-ins and have extra ones for college and all this other stuff. But anyways, they went Biden 48 to 44, only +4 for Biden. And in our polling, they were almost the same. Trump versus Kamala Harris. Trump was down 1. So that's 19 points of closure, essentially in a decade, really huge. And this is, again, 18 to 39-year-olds, not exactly the same age bracket they're looking at. But we do have 18 to 29-year-olds, not in here, but here's the final one in the fall that showed that 18 to 39-year-olds in our polling went 2 points for Kamala Harris. This is 12,000 U.S. likely voters, so that's pretty good. This is the big one where we had, it looks at, if you look within the rounding, we had Trump at plus 2.4. And I still think that that's what it is because of freaking California. But this is our weekly based on 5 nights of polling. And the 18 to 39-year-olds are now 51% Trump approval. I've showed this, I think, 3 times now, but it's such an important thing. They approve of Trump more than anybody else, 18 to 39-year-olds, 51% to 47%. So that's net plus 14. Keep in mind, underwater 20 with Hillary Clinton. So that's like a 34-point move, 35-point move. That's apocalyptic for Democrats because they survive on the cool factor. You know, they don't want to be ostracized. They cancel people. It's all like a big club. And I think it's going to be a problem when the club is made up of people who are, geriatric. And that's who their leaders are right now, essentially. AOC and Jasmine Crockett and all those other people are vying to get a seat at the table, but they don't let them go on the on the committees and stuff like that, right? They get to sit at the kids' table. But this is what I prepared for everybody tonight. And this is all of our polling from April. 3,600 U.S. likely voters. And I wanted to really laser in on the age and gender signal. So this top section is all US likely voters, and we have it broken down by 18 to 29 instead of 30 to 39. And again, they had it at 18 to 21. We just don't have our polling set up that way. I could do a standalone poll set up that way. It would have to be a really big national one, 3 or 4,000 likely voters, and I could do that in the future. But also, I think that my takeaway here is that people under 40 are more conservative, and that not necessarily do we have this gradation between young Zoomers and old Zoomers, and younger millennials. So 18 to 29-year-olds, if you look down with the 30 to 39-year-olds, are not that off. 30 to 39-year-olds are net +8. These people have families and jobs. They're obviously more likely to be conservative. But 18 to 29-year-olds are only net +5. So they're only 3 points apart here. And if you look, the older you get, the less conservative you get. This is also a major reversal from the way things used to be back when there were traditional establishment Republicans controlling everything. They just long for a day where they could have Romney be presidential. That's what this is about. Oh, like, look at that George W. Bush. What a nice young Christian man. You know, that's now they're like, oh, Trump, they can't get over the tweets. They don't like the stock market. They don't care about jobs because they're retired. I don't know what's going on here. It could just be MSNBC and Fox News, who is increasingly less conservative. I don't know. Troubling news out of the Greg Gutfield show today. But here is men, and this is what's wild. So 18 to 29-year-old men are 21 points away from 18 to 29-year-old women. So in my opinion, that's the headline. Not, oh, 18 to 21-year-olds are more based than older. No, it's the young men are extremely conservative. The young women are not. Now, look, they're not as liberal as the women 40 to 49. And 18 to 29-year-old men are not as conservative as 40 to 49-year-old men. That's just what it is. You know, the Zennials are carrying this thing. According to these numbers, the Zennial men. But yeah, look how much older women drag down Trump approval. -17, -13, -13, more than 18 to 29-year-olds. Again, maybe it's just the month of April. This is a really big sample. I don't think it's necessarily statistical noise here. I think this is the real trend. And even I don't even know if I could come up with an explanation to explain that the Yale break, where all of a sudden at 21 people get more left again. You know, what is it? That those are the people that lived through Gamergate and the 18 to 21-year-olds didn't? I don't know. Or the 18 to 21-year-olds are growing up in a much more conservative YouTube environment that I just can't explain it. This makes sense. Look how far apart men and women, 40 to 49-year-olds. I wish I should have done marital status here. I wonder if that has something to do with it. But they're 39 points apart. Middle-aged men and women. Totally, totally different. And look how close boomer men and women are. They're the closest here. So this is something we're going to track. We'll do this more. I want to follow it. This is, I think, going to get more and more red down here. But like the question is why? Some people have posited it. 22 reasons Gen Z men are growing more conservative according to their female peers. And honestly, some of these are spot on. Spoiler alert, no, they're not. I'm a Gen Z teen who lives in a very small southern town, meaning I get to experience and see the young men and who dedicate their lives to Trump. I believe they're shifting more towards the right because it's giving them a chance to still be in control. Are they not allowed to be in control? I think it says something more about the person giving the quote here. They need to know their place, because no 18 to 29-year-old man, no Trump voter man's allowed to have control. Like, my boyfriend's very right-leaning. However, a lot of his friends feel that the current way political and social discourse is going, there's a lot of focus on uplifting marginalized voices. And at times, this can make them feel like their perspectives are being overlooked and dismissed. Oh, they're jealous. They're jealous that they don't get to play in the victimhood Olympics. I mean, like, what? So many males are angry and want someone to blame. Fox News has told conservatives if they're not sex gods with 100 million in the bank and abs of steel, it's because of immigrants, welfare, feminism, and liberals. The headline here is that the fact that BuzzFeed found these insane people to say this stuff, and then they reported it with a straight face. Well, these are the answers. Like, I'm a high school girl, and I've noticed the majority of boys in my generation are leaning conservative. I honestly don't blame them. The other side seems to hate them. Well, this is the closest one yet. Humor is often taken too far. Dark humor is becoming a trend, especially among young men. And while even I find it funny from time to time, there has to be a limit. Dark humor. That doesn't make any sense. I don't think humor's dark at all. I don't really think there is any humor. I think most humor I see is like memes about the current status, whatever. I'm not going to signal boost BuzzFeed anymore. This is why young men specifically are becoming more conservative, in my opinion. These types of things that they're like, hey, I'm supposed to be providing for a family and I can't own a house. Share of U.S. young householders who owned or rented their homes from 2000 to 2019, and it's low. Well, less than 40% own their own houses. This is 25 to 34-year-olds. Then you have this out of Zero Hedge, record foreign-born workers versus native-born workers, unchanged since 2019. So what they're saying here is the green line is native-born workers, and you see it peaks here in 2019. Then there's a COVID crisis, and post-COVID, after all the jobs get regained, it's the same number of native-born workers in 2025 as in 2019. In fact, down a couple 100,000, I believe. But foreign-born workers look like they're doing swell. That's astounding. Good for them. Now, I think it's different axes here, right? But like the idea is the percentage. And that's a horrifying trend. Foreign-born workers have gained millions of jobs. Native-born workers, very few. And then there's this. Historic and forecast ever married shares by age and sex. So the brighter number is brighter charts 25-year-olds. The middle one is 35s, and the light ones is 45s. And what you can see here is that as of 2024, 25-year-olds only like 18% of men have ever been married. 25% of women. Historic lows. And so it's like probably a symptom, not necessarily the cause. But can you wonder why they're becoming more conservative? The system has not been working out very well for them. That's the trend. And I don't think the Democrats have a very good plan in order to fix that. I just don't. Their plan appears to be stoke racial violence, increase political divisiveness, nothing that seems like it's going to work. Bring back the MS-13 gangbangers? What's the plan, Democrats? I haven't heard any of them float it. It's like hands off, stop Trump, get rid of the tariffs, make all of the people come back, keep him from firing everybody. Basically just maintain the status quo, and the status quo has been horrifying for an increasing number of young people trying to start families. And the Democrats just don't care. Because I don't even know if they like families. I mean, they obviously don't based on the policies. Look, Biden's been absolutely horrible. If you've learned something, please follow us at rasmussenreports.com, Rasmussen_poll at Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Mark_R_Mitchell at Twitter. And thanks for watching.